Welcome to Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle. In this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our top shows focused on youth, community, and lifestyle. Be sure to follow us on all social platforms. Pitt Sports Zone kicks off things with the high school football players from Anne Arundel County at their media day. We head to Woodmore Town Center for the grand opening of the new Lidl grocery store. On Read Science, journalist Marta Zaraska shares how kindness can actually help you live longer. Then on Spotlight DMV, enjoy part 2 of Tahiirah Habibi's conversation with award-winning actress Taraji P. Henson at the 2025 Wine and Cultural Fest. And finally, on Lady Nighthawk, Paula breaks down what increased police presence in D.C. means for the DMV and the county. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle on Bowie TV.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live from Anne Arundel High School Football Media Day. Smell it in the grass. Y'all know what it is when y'all ride past those high schools. Y'all getting ready for Friday Night Lights, but yo, check out who I got with me today. Listen, everybody in this room know who they are. No shade, but these are your 2025 champions, Arundel High. And y'all see these boys just flashing like bling on them. They want Shador Sanders in here. But listen, it's all fun. That's what you work hard for at the end of the day. You know, you did the ultimate job. You know, you won. So congratulations to you first and foremost for the job that you guys did last year. I understand last year was last year. This year is a whole nother year. And it's about repeating the cycle for putting last year's success behind because it don't translate to this year, right? So before we start, one thing I want to ask, I'm asking all players, right? So I already know within the season, the coaches have workouts. You got 7-on-7, things of that nature. What have you done individually outside of your coach, right? You even with other teammates, but outside of the coach, what have you done individually to strengthen your game?
This year, I actually left early June, and I went and trained with my dad for 4 weeks straight. And what we did was we actually worked on my craft, for my route running, my playmaking skills, and just me athletically too.
Me personally, I would say I obviously I've been lifting weights, footwork and all that. But my whole mindset for this season, for me to work on, I've been trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, my coach been telling me that since my freshman year, for real. And it's just now starting to click in my head what he really meant.
Yeah.
And that's what I've really been trying to get into, and I've been telling my friends that too. Like, I've been even trying to preach it, even though it's not fully into me yet. For real. So that's what I've been trying to focus on, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Do you know what that means, though? Do you know what that means internally about being uncomfortable? Because when we're uncomfortable, we're more attentive, we're more aware, you know, we're more prone to be more intent in the way we study it, the way we look at it. So the problem is when we get comfortable, we get complacent. Right? So when we get comfortable, it's things like, say you're a wide receiver, right? And you already know, you know, on a dig route, you already know you're the best out on the get off. You already know you're gone, right? But being uncomfortable is, okay, what if somebody takes away that, right? Being able to challenge yourself in a way to say, you know what, the thing that I do best is no longer available to me. What can I do in ways, or how can I create ways to make myself uncomfortable to still achieve the same result? So that's big up.
This year I've been working a lot on like my route running. I feel like last year it was pretty good, but I feel like this year I wanted to like install it a lot more. Having more chemistry with my quarterback. Like this year we have a new quarterback, so just building that chemistry up with him, you know, like training with him, you know, just building time with him, just stuff like that.
I'm sorry, man. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm looking at the rings, and I'm just like, you know, hey, you work hard for it, baby. Y'all should take a picture of like New Jack City, like. But all right. So next thing I want to know is, so what are you? Okay, at the end of the day, we all want wins, right? You guys know that you achieved the ultimate goal last year. Wins is what you work hard for. But inside of that, there's always another alternative motive, right? When it's building character, building discipline, everything you're building yourself to become a better young man when you leave high school, right? So what are you looking most forward to this upcoming season to not only challenging yourself individually in the season, but also your teammates? Now you start.
Oh, I start? Okay. I haven't thought of that yet.
Oh, okay. I see what he did there. That was smooth the way he did that, right?
Yeah.
He said, you know what? I'm going to Steve Harvey the mic to him first and let it come back down because I ain't really ready for my answer yet. You go ahead.
Man, I feel like we have to take the experience that we had from last year and really include it into this year. And not only telling these guys things, but also showing them in the classroom, showing them whether like showing up on time for class, raising your hand, asking questions, things of that nature. And also, one thing as leaders that we have to do, like, we have to produce, yes, but we also have to give other guys chances too. So we could build their confidence up and have that confidence.
Yeah.
I feel like you already said, for real, we got new seniors and all that, and we the new seniors. So the new seniors, I would say we know how to win and we know how to lose.
Yeah.
So I feel like we got to teach the younger people to how to lose and how to win and what it's going to take for us to win if that's what they want to do for real. So I feel like that's the main thing, just to get through everybody's head, like
Yes,
everybody,
sir.
not even just the young people, because most of the young people, or I say some of the young people, know what it is to win and what it's going to take for real, because they was a part of it or they saw it. So, you feel me? Everybody need to be on the same page for us to get where we want to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I see him. Last year, I feel like I was more of a hothead, so I had to learn like to just calm down sometimes. Take some deep breaths, because I got suspended for 2 games because of it, and I missed big games last year. So I feel like that's a lot I could work on from last year.
And that's dope. And that's big of you to share that, right? Because a lot of times we don't like to share our failures,
Yeah.
right? But our failures are, I don't even want to say our failures, our setbacks. Our setbacks is what build the character, right? Is what builds our personality. And for you sharing that, you're making it okay for other kids in your position to be like, you know what? I messed up. You know what? I didn't do that right. You know what? I got to do better. You know what? I expect better of myself. For you sharing that, that's big, man, because not a lot of people in your position is willing to be that vulnerable, in a setting where the world is going to see it, right? Well, I appreciate you for sharing that. For you, Coach, we got Coach Jack Walsh, the reigning champions around the high school going down. Coach, where your ring at, Coach?
It's at home with my sock
Hey,
tour.
look, Coach, hey, Coach spared him, man. He spared the other coach. Coach is supposed to take his headshot like this. So, Coach, for you, right, if you can, talk about, one, how many seniors do you have returning this year?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer off the top of my head.
Okay.
We returned 5 starters from last year's team.
So standard to standard, that means next man up this year.
100%.
So what are you most looking for from all the things that you've done in the off season, all the 7-on-7, all the workouts? How excited are you, one, looking forward to watching that package come to fruition as the fall practices lead to fall ball, and how excited are you for this upcoming season as a reigning champs?
Super excited for this coming season. Obviously last year ended the way every team hopes it ends for us. But really excited to kind of shake the dust off and get this thing rolling. I think we have like I said, we have about 5 seniors returning from last year's team that started for us last year. It's their opportunity for them to be the highlight or the centerpiece. We're looking forward to showing them off a little bit.
So I'm from Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh football is 365. All we do is eat, sleep football. When we're not playing it, we're studying it. One of the things that I like to highlight a lot when I talk to coaches and players is the highlight of the importance of the mental aspect when it comes to football. Because the physical does what the mental thinks, right? So when we study and talking about film studying, not just watching yourself, but watching, knowing the assignment to the person to the left and the right of you, right? Knowing the assignment and watching the person, your opponent, and seeing what their strengths and weaknesses are. How important is film study to you and your organization?
It's huge. I think that was a big part of what we've done since I've been an assistant coach at Arundel back in 2005 all the way through. It's been a huge part of our program. The previous head coach, Coach Markowitz, he preached that. We were always ahead of the game and well prepared, and I've kind of just adopted his mentality there. Our assistant coaches do a great job getting the stuff out there. Shout out to our kids and players. They buy in. They're showing up. They're bringing questions to us, bringing possible solutions to us. We do all that stuff Monday through Thursday. Friday night, we're not really into trying things. Just like, no, this is what we said was going to work. This is what we're doing. And that carried through all last year's playoff run. And then obviously we're going to take that same mentality and approach this season.
Good morning, y'all. If you can hear me, today is the grand opening at Lidl's Woodmore Commons. They did the ribbon cutting at 7:40. Store is open at 8 o'clock, so folks are inside shopping right now. They're giving away books and things like that. Here's some of the management team here. It's a long line right now. And then they have a food truck over here. Good morning. Mr. Barnes, wave good morning. I'm on live.
Hey, everybody.
Y'all know Mr. Barnes. He is the new chair for Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to see you out here.
Our planning department played a big role in getting this in, so I had to come out and support. I'm all excited about the community involvement in this. As you can see, folks are lined up, ready to come in and celebrate this big win for the community. So let's try to keep it going.
Thank you for all you do for Prince George's County.
Thank you.
Look at that man, y'all. I'm making us that at some point. Just on you, right? Okay. So what's your name? Do you live in this area? Okay. So are you excited about Lidl being here in the community? Yeah, that's awesome. And it's great to have some, walkable things. I know we have Wegmans as well. The Wegmans stay packed, so this will help relieve some of that clutter. Now we just need that infrastructure in the opening to be taken care of. But yeah. Well, very nice to meet you. I don't want to jump the line, y'all, but maybe I should. Oh, hold on, let me get They're giving out some croissants and things over here. I gotta watch my back. I'm in the parking lot, just walking around like there are no cars. I missed the ribbon cutting by like 2 minutes, y'all. But I did get a picture, so I'm happy about that. How long this line is, look. Everybody's excited. Goes all the way down there. I want to take out school supplies. If y'all haven't seen, I'm still looking for donations for my back to school drive. So hit me up about that. This Saturday. Bag full of supplies. It's on my page. You can check that out. The link is in my bio. $20 to help a sister out. All right, y'all. I just wanted y'all to see what was happening out here. I'll share some more pictures later on.
Woodmore, Maryland. How y'all feeling this morning?
Let's see what the DJ got to say.
Yes. All right, let me tell you about my favorite app, ladies and gentlemen. It's the My Lidl app. If you love saving money on groceries and access to exclusive deals, rewards, coupon, this is the app you need to download. You got your phones in your hand, take them out, go to the app store. All you got to do is search My Lidl app. Once you do that, set Woodmore as your store by searching for it in the store tab and simply pressing set as my store, ladies and gents. By setting Woodmore as your store, you'll automatically be eligible to win a Lidl gift card valued up to $500 in the Win What You Spend grand opening sweepstakes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all you got to do is download the My Lidl app for that opportunity. If you need any help, make your way to the DJ booth. I got you. I'll take care of you. And again, ladies and gents, customers, welcome to the Lidl grand opening here in Woodmore, Maryland.
Hi, everybody. This is Joanne from Read Science, and I'm here with my co-host Jeff Schomeyer. And we are joined today by Marta Zaraska. And we're so glad to be talking to you today about your new book called Growing Young. Let's see, the subtitle, How Friendship, Optimism, and Kindness Can Help You Live to 100. So it's things that are more important than exercise and diet, right?
Yes, that appeared so.
It's great. I'm going to read your bio just from the back of the book, if that's okay. So Marta Zaraska is a Canadian-Polish science journalist. She has written about nutrition and psychology for the Washington Post, Scientific American, The Atlantic, the Los Angeles Times, and New Scientist, among others. She is the author of Meat Hooked, The History and Science of Our 2.5 Million Year Obsession with Meat. So that was your first book, and this is your second then.
I mean, in English, yes.
In English, oh, so we have other languages, Polish or?
I started writing in Polish, yes, but my first books were actually novels. So Meat Hook was my first book in English and my first nonfiction book as well.
Nonfiction book? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry I didn't investigate you more. I'd like to learn more about that. So.
Too obscure, I guess.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not always on the lookout for books written in Polish, even though I have a tiny bit of Polish in my background.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Well,
That's
welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, it's going to become pretty clear pretty fast what it is that we're talking about. But I wanted to read two quotations from your book, one from very near the beginning and one from very near the end, which sets up a little question that I want to ask rhetorically to start talking about all these things. The first one, I think, was from the introduction, and you talked about some research you were doing, and you said, and out of this research, a new story began emerging, whether I liked it or not, that my sit-ups and kale juice were not as important to health as I used to think.
Mm-hmm.
And then toward the very end of the book, and I'm not going to give away the last sentence, which I thought was brilliant, by the way, you said friendships, purpose in life, empathy, kindness, science shows that these soft health drivers are often more powerful than diet and exercise. And then I thought, this is rhetorical, but I thought for rhetorical purposes, I would be the hard-nosed physicist, hard-nosed. And I tend to be reductionist. But you've given us a very different look at some of these, what you referred to as soft issues, because we're starting to understand, science is starting to understand, and even popular mind is starting to understand that there is something to satisfy even the hard-nosed physicist who says fine, you've got a new effect. I want to know what causes it and what the mechanism is that might be doing it. And so I don't think I had any objection to years of mind-body issues. If we feel better, if we do this, blah, blah, blah. But it is emerging now, and you've summarized all these things brilliantly for us, that there are chemical, biological, biochemical things going in our body that understanding is arriving. And I wonder if we could just summarize a few of those so that we have some basis then for all of these examples that we're going to talk about, because many of them were new to me, and I had to keep looking to see what the HPA axis was, but I know it's going to keep coming up. So I wonder if we can just sort of set the stage for what these biochemical interactions are that mediate what you're calling here a mind-body issue.
Yeah, so just like yourself, many people, when they hear about the soft drivers of health and kindness, optimism, friendships, our community involvement, and how they impact our health and longevity, they often assume that this is some kind of new agey thing because it just sounds new agey. But the truth is, there's just so much research out there, very serious, very down to earth biological, neurological research that shows that there is nothing new agey about it. It's just basically how we evolved. It's purely physiological. We are social apes. Just like our cousins, the chimps, we evolved to be surrounded by others. And this is how our bodies prosper, because we have certain systems that function the best when we can trust others, when we are bonded with others, when we can rely on them, and when we are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of different systems in our bodies, like you've mentioned before, that interact, and it's a complicated network, right? There's not just like one single thing that causes this or one single thing that causes it. It's all interlaced. That's how our bodies are in general. And so, for example, we have this network of social hormones, of social neuropeptides, such as oxytocin, serotonin, vasopressin, endorphins, that connect the way we are connected to other people, our social lives, our trust, our bonding, to purely physiological processes. So you have probably the most famous is oxytocin, right? This is what people often call the love hormone, although that's simplification because it's not just that. But it does make us feel all warm and fuzzy when we are around other people. For example, when we're holding hands or looking deeply into each other's eyes, or just giving each other hugs, for instance. And on the other hand, oxytocin, just like all the other neurohormones here that I mentioned, have also purely physiological effects on our bodies. So, for example, oxytocin can lower the inflammation processes in your body. It can promote bone growth. It really does affect your body directly. The same, for example, for serotonin, that in mice can even regenerate the liver, and humans have effects on our vascular health, on Alzheimer's disease. It's all very, very connected. On one hand, very emotional and kind of what we call exactly this kind of soft or whatever, like the mental part. The other very physiological effects. Endorphins, for example, make you feel bonded with other people. It make you feel that you belong, and you get a release of them, for example, when you are doing line dancing with other people or singing together. And on the other hand, they are also natural painkillers. So this is very, it's all connected. So these are the social hormones. Yes, that's
connected as biological systems are. I'm always amazed, being a physical scientist, at reading about biological mechanisms and biochemistry, not only with how connected it is, but how natural selection and then the process of evolution has not repurposed always, but even added layers of utility to some of these existing hormonal systems. And then while you were talking, it made me think that at least in English, there is a remarkable ambiguity with the phrase, "Oh, I feel good."
Yeah.
That kind of both things, because that talks, that's, it's like, "Are you happy today? I feel good." Or, "How's your health? I feel good." But these two things start to work very closely together when the way we feel physically we can see how it affects feelings, and all of these evolve together to make us the social apes that we are, like you say. It's a big system. And I wonder if I could, here's a specific question for me, for you and Joanne, I think even. I'm not sure that I understand what inflammation really is. And I wondered if you could give me a brief overview of the biological process of inflammation, particularly since with the COVID coronavirus instance, cytokines are very, very much in the news today. And we don't really have to talk about that. But what is inflammation? And it figures in the middle of a lot of these processes that we're talking about.
So, Jan, do you want to try to tackle this one on?
It's been a while since I've had to teach about inflammation. But,
well, I take aspirin. It's like, oh, I've got an inflammation. It's like I get puffy and something hurts. But there's a whole thing going on.
So you want the initial,
I'm thinking about the reductionist biochemical response.
Like the redness and the pain and the immobility. And,
yes, and what are all these proteins doing, and what triggers them to go? And I don't know.
I should have been given a warning that I needed to.
I should have said warning. I'm going to ask about inflammation, but that's all right.
In relation to coronavirus, which is not exactly my topic of expertise.
We can also talk about the hypothalamus. Let's see, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the amygdala.
Okay,
if you
but
want
I can talk more.
Yeah, that's
coronavirus.
Because I looked it up again. It's like I have to remember what this HPA axis is, because it keeps coming up and it figures in a lot of these processes that connect how we're feeling with how we're feeling.
Yes, that's the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. It is a mouthful. That's why HPA usually, is easier to remember. And this is one of the biggest links between our mental health, our social health, let's call it, and how our bodies are functioning, because it all starts in your hypothalamus, in your brain. And it's basically a stress response, the kind of part of our evolved fight or flight response from when we're back, in the savannah, and we had to have these processes to basically protect our life. And so there is a cascade of hormones basically that gets released when it starts with the hypothalamus, when you detect danger. Let's say a lion, standing in the bushes, they're out to get you. And it all basically cascades down your body. There's just so many different hormones that get released. It involves things like, for example, cortisol, and it activates your adrenal glands over your kidneys. But there is just much, much more. I don't want to go too much details because it's a very complicated, plenty of different hormones. But cortisol is usually the one that people recognize very fast. And this is something, that we still have, even though in modern times it's very often malfunctions, because it doesn't have, we are not in the same conditions anymore. So very often this HPA axis these days gets chronically activated by minor chronic stresses, for example, like mortgage stresses or stresses about college admissions and things like that. Whereas in the past, it was much more survival and very sudden, and then it would be calmed down by an opposite system that release other hormones to make sure that everything settled down in your body. But these days, very often it's all chronically activated, which has all these negative effects on our health that we usually connect to exactly stress. And on the other hand, also this HPA axis, it comes down when we are surrounded by others, by people we trust, when we are in our tribe. And this is how we also evolved. But this is exactly the system that connects, your mind, your social life, with all this down the stream physiological effects, including your metabolism, for example, that have nowadays often negative impact on our health.
And so we can see from that, at least in a way that sort of satisfies me, that there is a mechanism that this does tie stress to a lot of different things about how we actually feel, and then how our emotional responses run. And then one other thing that I guess was a question while I was reading, or near the beginning, it got settled for me pretty quickly. But here is just one statement from where you said, partway through the book, here are some statistics. And you said, a happy marriage equals a 49% lower mortality risk. We can talk about mortality risk. But this sounds enormous. And part of the point is, it is enormous.
It is enormous.
Compared to, eating acacia berries and kale, as you would say, that for people obsessed with like, what's one thing I can do or something like that, these are not small effects.
No, yeah, they're huge. They're even bigger, than quitting your smoking habit of pack a day, which
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Exactly. I never say, don't quit smoking and get married instead. Absolutely not. Compare the effects, how important these things are to our health, right? That there was this one meta-analysis I like in particular that exactly put everything together, from smoking to, diet, exercise, and also all the social drivers, so social integration and marriage and living with someone and having friends and so on, and exactly to put it into perspective. And it really made it very clear, how important our social lives are for our health, and even to compare to things as bad for us as smoking.
But I've always been around family members, and my mom to this day has her girlfriend circle. I've watched them grow old together. They just had a little gathering not too long ago somewhere in North Carolina where they all flew in and hung out with one of the girlfriends, had an Airbnb. So I grew up like that, watching my mother and her girlfriends get together at our house, and they be talking and sharing what they bought. Girl, with these shoes, and so I grew up around it. So it was always in me. That's beautiful, because not everybody has that experience. Sometimes people genuinely have to cultivate that kind of love and nurture, and you're very nurturing just by nature. And like I said, one of my favorite things is just like watching you hug people at a point. I'll never forget, what I'm talking about, that time, I forgot who was there, Viola? Yes. Yeah. It was crazy because the room went into a hush. Like an alien had just been beamed down from another planet. And I'm like, y'all don't do this? Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It was like, yay. I'm like, that's what you do with people. I guess because they're so competitive. Now I am competitive, but I compete with myself. Right. Yes. Right. I compete with another one. We go through enough. And so when she won, I felt like I did win. Right. Because that right there opened the way for another Black woman to come and win in that category. Absolutely. So I can't dim her shine and she can't dim mine, baby, but what we can do is shine together. So let's pivot a little bit and talk about your businesses, particularly Seven Doors. What a beautiful partnership. And I remember when we first met, we talked a bit about like how that partnership and how it has flown for you. And I don't know if a lot of people know that you redesigned the label. Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit? Well, once I met the Tarados, and we loved each other's energy, because it's all about energy. And that's the one thing you want to do when you're starting a business. It is very important who you partner with. Yes. And sometimes that thing will come looking like the best deal ever, but it'll be the devil in disguise. You are the prize, whatever product you have and that you're selling, that is your prize. And don't just willy-nilly give it away to anybody and partner with the first person with the check. Because they might not understand your business. And it can be a fatal blow to your business. So sometimes you gotta hold out and wait for that right partner to come. But in this instance, it was magical. Like, the Tarados, that's a family-owned business. That's important to me. I'm huge on family. And when I tell you now I am Taraji P. Henson Tarado, like Bill Tarado, he's the dad. He sends me pictures. He just sent me a picture of his new granddaughter, my cousin. You know, he saw straw. Like, he reaches out. We communicate like family. It's not just business, and that's why this product is so good, because they care.
It's definitely good.
Right? Yes. And you can mix it. It goes with everything. It's just, I don't have to sell you on it. Like, literally, when they sent me the first sample bottles, I was like, this is good. And then I looked at the bottle and I was like, this is not good. Because I am a shopper, girls. I like to shop. And I know shopping is an experience. I know how it gives me those happy endorphins. It makes me feel like it's not the end of the world. So I just wanted that feeling in this bottle. Like, when you go in the store, what is that? You know what I mean? I want it to be appealing. And so what you see in that label is, like, we really, it didn't take long, because I told them what I felt, and they found them amazing artists. And on the back, we have Easter eggs for my diehard fans, or even people that's really just learning to know me. Things that you'll pick up and be like, oh my God, that's the necklace she wears all the time. Oh, there's her little fat Buddha. Or, you know, I love gummy bears. It's just little things that you can look up and feel like you get to know me better. Yeah. So
it's a beautiful bottle.
Isn't it beautiful?
So cute. But that's really important, especially in the wine industry. Like, the branding is so important, and I feel like it elevated it a lot. And so I'm sure that they're really excited about that contribution. But I also want to say, like, Moscato sometimes gets looked down upon, and it's an ancient grape. Like, you need to put some respect on Moscato, for sure, right? But I think the difference is, when you get a good Italian Moscato, you never go back. You never go back. Once you taste what a Moscato is supposed to taste like, you don't ever go back. So just always remember that, because that is a pure, beautifully well-balanced, well-made Moscato.
It is, and that's the first thing I noticed when I was like, Moscato. They sent it to me and I poured it, because I'm a red wine girl. And I tasted it and I was like, oh my God, it is so well balanced. Because it wasn't too sweet, it didn't do that. You know, it's too sweet. Did you take a picture of me, Doug?
He did take a yes, he did not take it. I'm like, he did.
Thank you for
I got you.
No, but I that's the first thing I noticed, that it wasn't overly sweet, because I know wines, and it's like, if I want a port, I'll drink a port, right? You know, and a port is something you just have with dessert, and you just drink one glass. You don't sit and knock back the whole bottle. Like sometimes I do.
So speaking of, like, how well balanced it is, and how flavorful it is, because it pairs with so many different things, if you had to design a 3-course menu, what would it be? Pairing with Moscato.
I would probably start with oysters on a hash shell. Buy from the area, y'all know how to do that. Yes. I would probably start with, you know, it actually really pairs well with, it pairs really well with caviar.
Oh. Yeah.
Because the salt is sweet. Salt is not telling you. And it's just like on a potato chip. Like,
y'all probably
yes.
Just get it ready.
But I would probably start somewhere like that, with a nice salad. And then I would do another seafood. It could be a lobster. I really love langoustine. You don't really get it fresh here. You have to go like to Italy or the Middle East to get it fresh. But you will find a restaurant here and there that will ship it in frozen. It's really good. But I love langoustine.
Ooh, right.
I'm drooling on here. And then I mean, because any dessert, and I love dessert.
That's why we have a sweet upstairs later on.
I love dessert. So, and I can't even pick any dessert dessert really goes well with. Like I could do really good with the tiramisu because you know tiramisu is not very sweet, so it kind of balances out.
For sure. And let's talk quickly about your cocktails because besides pairing with the food, you can create some really delicious cocktails. You have the Taraji P. What's your favorite out of the list? Because you have a lot of them.
My favorite is the one that I happened upon when they sent me the bottles. And I have this juice that I buy. It's a coconut milk. It's coconut and pineapple juice. And it's thick, like it's not filtered. It's not, you know, like they use the meat of the coconut. And that's what I started doing. So I would chill it, make it really, really cold, chill my glass, put some ice in it, pour the Moscato in, and that juice mixture, shave some coconut on top, and then put a pineapple garnish. I can sip that all day long. Because you know what it is? It tastes like a pina colada. Yes. So good.
We actually have a cocktail upstairs of yours, the Bellini.
The Bellini is good. I mean, literally, you can mix it with anything. Yeah. My sister makes this incredible sorrel, and she brought me some today, and I was like, ooh! I have to look, lift it up, and I almost finished it. Don't you drink it?
Hey, sis. My sister's here too. Actually, I just spotted my mama. I didn't know my mom was here yet.
Hey, beautiful!
Oh, that's so funny. Like the way.
Just play with it though. That's what's so good. It's fun. It's like me. It's fun. It has a lot of personality.
Yeah.
It gets along with everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the haters.
I saw you on the Angie Martinez show and they were asking you.
Yes. Oh my God.
Which one?
Calling people, what do you go? Hoes. No, ho. When they ask you if you if a guy is in your hiding you in not posting you privately, but posting you listening. No, what you hide, ho?
Yeah, what you hide? Because I'm not to be hidden, honey. Like,
Exactly.
I'm proud about that. But you know what? I'm so beyond the posting and stuff, child.
Yes.
Listen. First of all, I don't really think you want everybody all in your business. Certain things should just not be on social media.
Yes. How can you be public and like preserve your energy? Like preserve your life and be public at the same time.
I remember when social media. I just joined social media, and it was this. It's like a drug. Yeah. You feel like you got a race to show everybody everything. And the closer I got, I noticed that it was wearing the comments, because I can't help, sometimes I do read the comments. And it's like all the comments are great, but you're gonna keep going until you find that one bad comment. Why do we do it? It's a human nature thing, right? And I realized it was stealing so much of my peace.
Yes.
And I'm giving so much power to something I can't even, a ghost.
Yes.
You know, I'm letting, it might be a robot or a bot or whatever they're called.
Yes.
And I'm letting a piece of machine destroy my mood. Like, that's too much. I can't give something I can't see. I can't give another human that much power.
Yeah, right.
So I literally don't post as much. And I'm happier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I really am. I post when I feel like it. I post when I feel like I have to share something with you. But I'm not posting, today I'm eating some fried chicken with Who cares? People have lives. And I feel like if it's not something motivational or something that I feel like I have to offer, like people out here fighting for their lives. They don't want to know I just bought a pair of $5,000 shoes. Like, you know what I mean? That's almost like a slap in people's face, you know? So I don't use it for that too.
Yeah, and that's such a humane way to think about it. Like, you're not trying to flex on people. You're not trying to make them feel inferior.
Yeah.
You don't want them to kind of
people
worship you in that way.
You want to do what I did.
Purpose. Right.
Have you checked on your mental health today? Did you check on your strong friend today? Sis, how you doing?
talk about culture.
Yeah.
DC girl.
Hey,
welcome home. Because, like I said earlier, in one way or another, we are girls from the hood. I love saying that. Like Megan, you just hosted Megan's foundation, speaking of girls from the hood. What was that like? Do you feel that the transition was hard coming from where you grew up into kind of like where you are now with this elevated thing? I remember one time you said that your father told you to act like it's already happened, like this is who you are. You've always been like that since you were a child. Was there a phase in which you had to kind of reprogram yourself to live in this space, this version of you versus the version that was growing up?
I won't always be me, because that's all I can be. And so, at whatever level, I celebrate who I am. I'm not going to change who I am, because I know a girl out there needs to see me just like how I am.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Lady Nighthawk, where we talk about important topics, and sometimes we have people come in and dance and sing, and book writers come in and promote their books, and we need to bring some of those people back. Because there are people out there still writing books about what's going on in this world, and there's still people that's out there dancing and singing in the churches, you know. I always worry Mike about coming, but you know, there are other people that we've had on the show in the past. And maybe we need to try to lighten up some things, you know, too. But basically what has happened, and I'm going to introduce one of my favorite guests, and I call him a co-host because he comes on here since forever. He traveled and reminded me that we used to do radio together, okay? He used to come on my radio show. So we've been around together. We were doing he was doing my radio show and he was doing my TV show here. And he reminded me, so we've been around for a long time. And he stuck by me every step of the way and supported me every step of the way. And I can't say thank you from the bottom of my heart, okay? So you introduce yourself.
Jonathan Hans Kirby.
And he's so modest because he was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. That's not an easy task. I mean, you see, I love this shirt when he gets them, the shirts that he gets out, and he said, "Well, I just can't find one in your size." Look, man, I just love the shirt, okay? I love seeing you in the shirt too, okay? So that's why he does that for me, because I want people to recognize him for who he was. He served his country. He's still serving his country. He was serving his country even before he went to the Marine Corps, okay? He's just been a blessing to the Lord. And I know we're not on the church show, but I just have to say this, because even in his adversity, he still is doing for other people. And God has blessed him because, like me, he tried to give him a warning and tell him to slow down. So did his mama, and so did some other people, his wife, and he didn't do it. So God said, okay, let me sit you down for a minute so you can get yourself together. But you know what? It's temporary, because I've seen him from when it happened, and I've seen him to where he's come from. So God just needed to slow you down, my brother, for a minute, because you was doing too much. And he did me the same way, okay? Except for he did mine minor, because I still had kids, you know, my kids were young, you know, but I was trying to do community work 2 jobs, do the church, you know, it was just too much. And he said, you need to get warm them up. And he said, nope, I know how to make you lay down. So I did for a minute. When I got well, I had a minor stroke, but I did for a minute. When I got well, where did I do? Went right back to what I was doing. But, you know, when he did it the second time, he said, now you're going to listen to me because I don't want to make it worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he said, you have a choice. So that's what I did. I gave up the radio. You know, I stopped doing some of the stuff that I was doing. But I can see in you, and this is what he just put my spirit on, where he could have taken me. You follow me?
Oh, yeah.
And so he made me put a stop to it before he could have taken me there. That's what I love about him, because he will warn us now. He will talk to us.
He will.
And it's up to us to listen, right? And so I see that this scenario, even though how bad it was, that he's made it temporary, because I see the progress every time I see you. I am so happy to see you every time I see you. And every time I see you, make more and more progress. And people might see you in that chair, but you don't have to sit in that chair. You can sit in one of these chairs, but it's just easier for you to stay where you are,
Yep.
And you drive now, you can walk with a cane, So I don't want y'all to think that he's still ridden in this chair. Look, I would get one of them chairs if I thought I could, and I'd be riding around in them too. Okay.
like the Wayning brothers used to say, don't underestimate the handicap. Okay?
Right. That's right. Don't.
Yeah.
But if I had one, you better bet me and you both be sitting in a chair, sitting in here, because I got. Well, y'all see now I'm back at the doctor's again. This hand was giving me a problem for 3 months. I'm not gonna say where it came from, but it wasn't an accident. Okay, so didn't have no fall, didn't have no injury, no nothing. And I don't want to blame nobody, so I can't say where it really happened. But finally I went to the doctor today, and they gave me a cortisone shot because he could see exactly where it was. It was right where I thought it was, but he told me that, so far, I could taste it in my mouth when he shot me, and the pain is kind of gone away. But he put me in this brace, and he told me that because it was starting to affect my wrist and lifting and things like that. So he told me to wear it, don't wear it all the time, but wear it like when you got to lift or you're driving or, you're doing things where you have to do more movement, but take it off too, because I don't want your hand to get stiff. So I see him in a month, and we see what happens after that,
You have to massage that, because my wrist and hand is still stiff too, and
it hurt when you pick up stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Down to your thumb.
Yes.
Yeah, and then down to this thumb.
In my wrist.
And in my wrist. And he showed me what vein that was that takes it had gotten all the way up to here. Okay? Yeah. And he showed me the vein that pools. Okay, it was the pool is right there. And so when it gets to this point, that's where it pools. So it starts just pain in here, and it starts it up to a certain point. And he said, if I had not come when I did, it was going to move all the way up my arm, because it's that one particular vein.
You don't want that.
No, so I'm glad I went. I was telling my doctor, this is not getting better, something wrong, So I'm glad that I did go, and he explained to me what was going on. I knew it was a vein, and every time I went to the doctor and stuff, they did urgent care, and I went to Bowie Town Center with some other things, and they did all these, make sure that I didn't have any clots anywhere, right? And I'm on a blood thinner, and I didn't have no clots, but I said, well, okay, then what the hell is going on with the hand, And so he showed me where it wasn't a clot, but he showed me where the blood was pooling in one spot that caused those problems. So you need to go see a hand doctor.
Yeah. Well, my physical therapist, he is a doctor, and he actually got it when I start massaging and stretching my hands and stuff, so it's been getting better.
Okay, yeah. So he gave me a cortisone.
And then
shot.
I got the TENS machine too. I throw electric shock to my.
I haven't used that in a long time. It's in my house, sitting on my bed.
Well, you better plug it up and use it.
It's paid for, you know what I mean? You're right. It's just sitting on the bed, collecting dust,
Charge it up. It worked.
Yeah, but I hadn't even thought about using it for this, because I got it for something else. I'm glad we had this conversation. Yeah. So I'm going to charge it up, and I'm going to tell the hand doctor when I go see her, I got a 10 unit, I already have one, tell me how often I should be using it,
And you should take it with you and let them
set it up. I will.
Set it up for you.
Thank you. Now, the thing that's worrying us and bothering us, and I'm quite sure, my son tells me to stop looking at the news, okay? I have to look at the news, I tell y'all all the time, so I can bring news to you. Okay, because half the world, because they're depressed and stressed, they don't want to watch the news anymore, because there's nothing really good coming out of it. I don't care who it is. I mean, you see on there that it was a 3-year-old that got shot sitting in the car. You saw it was a 5-year-old that got shot within the last month and a half, okay? These are kids, these are babies now that are getting, caught up in this for no reason, that they're killing them, okay? Then you see the all these other kids that you know, that are getting killed, or the older people or whatever. Now, what has upset me, and I'm going to say this, that I saw on the news today. When the little 3-year-old girl got shot, you know, everybody kind of said that they were kind of devastated by what was going on. When the 5-year-old got shot, they kind of said, you know, their condolences to the family, and did their little, the news did their little. Well, a person that should have really reached out to that family and had both of them to come to their big old house that they got, should have had those families come and really given them some consolence and, you know, and condolences instead of what the little thing that he said. Now, what bothered me when I heard yesterday on the news that now he wants to, but he's been trying to take over the District of Columbia for a minute, okay? Because even when he was in office before, because he doesn't like the mayor, he doesn't want her to run the city. He wants to take away all these mayors that are of color out their positions. Well, I can't say that because the governor over there in California is white as snow, okay? But because the people that he serves, he has a problem with them as well. So he gets this man because he's good. He's a good man. I'm talking about the governor. You know, trying to give him grief and bring the military. He took all that military people that ain't had no business over there in California and put them over there. Now on the news today I see, because there's one young, and look, I'm not a racist. I advocate for everybody, no matter what color you are, no matter what your walk in life is. But what upsets me is that 3-year-old got killed, that 5-year-old got, little 3-year-old was in the car minding her business. The 5-year-old got killed. It's been stuff not only just in Maryland, but we're talking across this country. Not just here in DC, not just here in Virginia, across this country, we have people that are out here killing people. It doesn't matter if it's from a 16, 14-year-old to a 25 to 50-year-old. It doesn't matter, it has no age group in it. But to see today that all of a sudden, because he's been messing with the mayor ever since he was in the office the last time, trying to take over the city of DC. DC was initiated by the Congress of these United States and was given home rule. He's trying to take that away. He wants to take the mayor's. Now he's talking about what he did to California, he want to do here because of one, and I'm not prejudiced, but I'm going to tell you this. You didn't do this for this little girl that got killed in the car that was a black child. You didn't do it for the 5-year-old that was a black child. But one Caucasian gentleman that's a teenager, I don't know what happened to him. He got roughed up, okay? Now he wants to bring the National Guard into the District of Columbia. You need to speak up because it's not necessary. It really is not necessary. DC has no more crime in it than Maryland, Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, you name it, across this country, in California, as far as there, okay? Because it wasn't necessary for the National Guard to go over to California when the governor had everything under control. If we continue to sit back and do nothing and let these things happen in our cities, and they take away the government arms that you have, that you voted to put in the office. Mayor Bowser didn't go in office by herself. The people of the District of Columbia voted for her. The governor in California didn't go in the office by himself. The people that lived in California voted for him. So we're talking to people that are voted into these jobs, and then all of a sudden, somebody can wave a magic wand, nobody says something, and all of a sudden I'm in charge of this. And for him to take over, he's trying to take over every federal agency that we have. Every time I look at the news, he makes it a question, but it's in his heart. Oh, well, do you think that I can become the head of so-and-so? You know, but I don't guess I can do that, you know, and it's just wrong.
What I see in all that is the fact that he's trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, that's right? What he's trying to do.
But guess what? He don't deserve that.
No, he doesn't.
At all.
No.
I don't care if they